Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we got another Toronto Raptors video for you guys. Was on Raps Muse NBA earlier today and I saw something cool that just kind of summarizes the Toronto Raptors the last couple of months. So Toronto's on a nice little win streak right now. Now they actually play the Orlando Magic tonight, and I've seen some stuff on Twitter for some Raptors fans being a little worried because Orlando's actually had a phenomenal defense. A couple of games ago, they were ranked number 2 in post All-Star break defensive rating. So Orlando is one of those sneaky teams, and Toronto definitely another win to just prolong the win streak, extend the win streak would be absolutely amazing. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure by the time a lot of you guys watch this video, the game may be over. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button for at least one Raptors video every single day, along with daily NBA content. Rap Nation, let's try and get 100 likes on today's video. That would be awesome. Love and appreciate the support so much you guys have been showing me on this channel. So here was a tweet: the 5 best records in the Eastern Conference in 2022. We have number 1, the Boston Celtics, 30-11, which is crazy. Philadelphia, 27-13, very impressive. And then number 3, the Toronto Raptors at 29-15. So in the Eastern Conference, the Toronto Raptors have the 3rd best record in 2022. I would say that's extremely impressive because keep in mind, Mr. OG Anunoby was out for a very long period of time, and there was, Fred will miss a handful of games, Gary will miss a handful of games. There's just a bunch of players missing a handful of games the entire season, especially in 2022. But the Raptors are definitely getting back on track, getting back to fully healthy. I have a couple things I want to say. So I was just reading some NBA power rankings, and they had the Toronto Raptors at number 11. I'm like, there's 10 teams better than Toronto right now? I don't know. Toronto's got the longest winning streak in the NBA. And I've been getting a lot of comments about this. Let me, whatever the hell that is. Toronto's starting 5 has a differential on the entire season of like +2, which is so interesting. And that's why I've actually mentioned a couple of times in the last week or two, if you guys have noticed, I would love, and it's in games like this where I would like for Freddie to be rested. The only thing is, who the hell's running guard? If Malachi's still out, is it going to be Delano? I don't really know. That's probably what is maybe preventing Freddie from getting some rest. I would love Freddie to get some rest, but he has been playing some really good defense. I mean, he's been adequate. I just want him to be fully healthy going into the playoffs. I know a lot of Raptors fans feel the same way. I just don't know what alternative there would be. I really don't know. Maybe wait till the Houston Rockets game to rest Freddie. I'm not really sure. The Toronto Raptors 11th. There were teams like Brooklyn. Brooklyn's got like one of the worst. What are they ranked? Like 23, 24th in defensive rating. I don't understand the whole draw with the Brooklyn Nets, especially if Ben Simmons was coming back. Yeah, I think we might have a different conversation there. But Kyrie and KD, that's just not enough in my opinion. However, last year, they were a foot away from making the NBA Finals. So who really knows? Or not the NBA Finals. You get the point. Anyways, Toronto right now is just being extremely, under-respected, maybe is a proper word. Toronto's got 6 games left. I think they'll win at least 4 of them. But there are some things I would like to see, which is kind of what I was talking about before I lost my train of thought. A lot of the times I've mentioned, especially in my live streams, benching Scotty Barnes, and this is something that was really interesting the other night against Minnesota because Scotty Barnes was really struggling early on in the game. He wasn't playing great defense, and he really was not playing good offense at all. So Nick Nurse went in a different direction, right? He kind of went to a little bit more Precious Achiuwa, which ended up, Precious has been actually phenomenal. Shout out Precious Achiuwa. The guy's shooting over 40% from downtown post All-Star break. That is just unbelievably cool. But anyways, you have 6 games left, and here are the 6 games. You got Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Houston, and New York. So I'm looking at those 2 games, Miami and Philadelphia, where maybe, just maybe, you lose those games. Although, as we all know, Toronto's like, what are they now, 12-5 against top 3 teams in the East or West combined, which is the best in the NBA. So Toronto, this season, at times they've played up to their competition, they've played down to their competition, but I think at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, Toronto goes about 4-2 to finish out the season. I would love for some Scotty Barnes lineups where he is coming off of the bench, because here's the thing: if your starting five is like a -2 or a +2, -2, whichever one it was, obviously that's not great. Keep in mind, this is a team that has only played, what is it now, 18 games fully healthy, 20 games fully healthy with their starting five. So keep that in mind as well. But I wouldn't mind if we saw some intriguing lineups being deployed. For example, in the other game against Indiana, I was just reading an article about this, the 40-point blowout against Indiana. There was such an interesting stretch where Nick Nurse pretty much deployed like a huge 5-man rotation just about. And Toronto shot the ball horribly. Offensively, it was not that great. The good news is it was the exact same for Indiana. And obviously the Pacers are struggling. Pacers are clearly rebuilding. But it gets me to my overall point of, I want Nick Nurse to experiment as much as humanly possible here in the remaining 6 games, just like he has been, just like he did against Indiana, where you've got 5 absolute giants out on the court at one time, where, yeah, you're struggling to score offensively, but they're struggling even more to even just do anything on offense. Gritty and grindy. That's how you win it. You win it in the trenches for Toronto. They don't have a good bench. They are dead last in bench points. So how else are you going to win it? You got to get deep. You got to dig deep down in those trenches, and you got to win a lot of the small battles. So one thing we did see against Minnesota, which poses some concerns in my eyes, is they were getting out rebounded. Like at some point in the first quarter, it was like 24-7. It was something absolutely ridiculous. The good news is Karl Anthony Towns suffered, bro. He scored under 20. He suffered the entire game. He got into foul trouble kind of early on. He suffered against Toronto. So yeah, they were getting out rebounded and out rebounded and out rebounded and out rebounded, even when they had a big lineup out there. But they still were able to limit point paints. So that's why I really have a lot of faith in this Toronto team, is it's not always pretty. As we saw in the Boston game, it is not always going to be a pretty win. In the first quarter against Minnesota, it's not always going to be pretty quarters. But they're gritty, they're grindy, and they're going to keep on trying. They're going to keep working hard. And Nick Nurse, he's going to think outside of the box. That's one of my favorite parts about Nick, is he thinks outside of the box all the damn time. Think the wall when you play the Milwaukee Bucks, as they swept the Milwaukee Bucks in the season series this year. So interesting kind of Raptors video today. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. I thought it was just really interesting, this tweet here. I'll say it one more time from Raps Muse. They have the 3rd best record in 2022 with everything they've been going through. They're 29-15. So I think that's really impressive. Just got to get certain players going again, and I would like to see some lineups where Scotty Barnes coming off the bench, and then when, because Nick Nurse doesn't really run like a standard typical starter bench. Like, he doesn't stagger them like that. He kind of like combines forces. So I just think it would be interesting, and that's kind of what we did see a little bit in the Minnesota game. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to that, as we saw at various points in the season, where we have like Scotty Barnes come out there. Scotty Barnes will start with like a guy like Ken Burch. He'll play like 2 minutes, and then he'll sit until like 3 minutes or so are left in the first quarter. I think we'll probably see some similar stuff like that in the last couple of games. So that's it. Hit the like button. Let's try and get 100 likes, and I'll see you guys later after this, after the Toronto Raptors get another dub tonight.